Angel Reese, in particular, her energy shifted. I thought when she got some of those easy baskets to go in the paint that, quite frankly, she had struggled with to open the ball game. That energy is contagious because if you look at Angel Reese,
let's go back to Angel really quickly, though, because she was part of the catalyst that you saw to be able to change things around. And she said to Holly, I just feel like I needed to take a deep breath and maybe stop overthinking some of these.
Oh, I've been there. I've been there. Like, sometimes the basket is too open.
Right.
The reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me, too, and I want y'all to realize that. Y'all said it's the player of the year, so I want all the smoke. All the smoke. So
who's the best player in the country?
To the media or me? I feel like I'm the best player.
Weekend has to be one of the worst weekends ever for Angel Reese, bro. I mean, she became a meme last game. She became a super duper meme this game. And all I got to tell you is, Caitlin Clark truly gets the last laugh, man.
She had the entire game sitting right there in her hands, resting on her fingertips for just a moment before it slipped away. Tied at 81 with the clock winding down, Angel Reese had a wide-open layup that could have sent Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever home with a heartbreaking loss. But she missed it. It was a clean look with no defender contesting the shot, no help defender rotating from the weak side, and no last-second hand forcing the miss. Just Angel Reese failing to convert when the biggest shot of the game was right there for the taking.
Final chance, 81-81, to take this game, resulting in this circus act of a play. Ryan Howard disrupted by Sophie Cunningham, pretty much to Angel Reese right under the basket, who blows it. Naz Hillman gets the rebound, again, blows it. So the game goes into overtime. And I gotta say, Angel Reese looked really upset blowing that layup, but I think what's going really viral right now and making the rounds on social media is Caitlin Clark's reaction. She walks right behind Angel with a...
That single sequence is the reason we're even having this conversation right now. What happened in the 10 seconds that followed has somehow become bigger than the miss itself, bigger than the final score, and even bigger than the actual basketball game these two professional teams battled through for more than 40 minutes. Now, according to rumors spreading rapidly across WNBA social media this week, Angel Reese isn't simply frustrated about missing that crucial shot. She's reportedly furious enough to consider legal action, not against the referees who officiated the game or the league itself, but allegedly against Caitlin Clark personally, over claims that Clark laughed at her behind her back.
Speaking of terrible, Angel Reese never beating the allegations. This was to open the game.
With Reese leaking out, finds her.
Lee Sheet, that was awful. Wow, that was awful. One more good time. It did a... Yeah. Yikes. Holy moly. Holy moly. Caitlin Clark. Let's go down the court. Yeah, let me just pass this ball into AB. Oh, that was nice. That was nice from Caitlin Clark. How about Caitlin Clark cooking Angel Reese?
Clark working behind ball.
Boom.
Reese got that wide-open opportunity right under the basket with a chance to finish the game immediately, without needing overtime, yet she missed a shot she has probably converted countless times in both practices and real games. The broadcast then did exactly what viewers expect in a dramatic moment like that and immediately focused on her reaction. She looked devastated, with her head down, shoulders lowered, and body language showing someone who understood just how costly that missed opportunity could have been for her team, with the game hanging in the balance.
Blame is Angel Reese for missing the layup to win the game. Angel Reese missed the layup that would have won the game, and she didn't win the game. As a result, cost her team the game because she can't make a layup. And Caitlin Clark seemed to enjoy it. I have no idea what she was actually smiling about, but this was the play in question, in case anybody was wondering and hadn't seen it. Angel, point blank range, doesn't make the shot. It's not like Caitlin chases her around to taunt her or anything like that. But good timing to know where the cameras were if that was indeed on.
And then the camera catches Caitlin Clark walking past her a few feet away, heading back toward her own bench with a smile on her face. It looks like the kind of smile you would expect from someone relieved that the game is still alive and knowing she still has an opportunity to finish it herself. And that's it. That's the entire so-called incident. A camera captured two facial expressions just a few feet apart on a basketball court, and the internet did what it does best, filled in the blanks, created its own narrative, and transformed a brief moment into a headline.
Simple layups. We have no post moves. Our handle is weak. We can't shoot from the mid, can't shoot from the three-point line. All Angel Reese could do is rebound her own shots and her teammates' shots occasionally and play defense. She's by no means an elite defender. By no means is Angel Reese an elite defender. But this is bad. This is really bad. There's been absolutely zero progression in Angel Reese's game. Angel Reese rookie season to now, it's the same player. She hasn't improved finishing around the rim. She hasn't improved the mid-range shot. She hasn't improved the three-point shot. Her handle hasn't improved. She's just the same rebounding, defending, clumsy offensive player that we've seen for the last going.
The game didn't end there either. It went into overtime, and the Fever eventually pulled away for a 95-91 victory after a tense extra period that remained within reach for both teams until the final minute. Clark finished with 26 points and 9 assists, taking control in overtime the way a star player is expected to when the pressure is at its highest. Reese, meanwhile, put together a strong statistical performance of her own, recording 15 points, 14 rebounds, and 6 assists, a near triple-double that could have easily been the story of the night under different circumstances. But once the overtime buzzer sounded, those numbers were overshadowed by the result. Indiana had more composure when it mattered most, and Clark delivered the biggest plays down the stretch to help secure the win.
Nope. Try again. One more time.
Great board, just could not convert it.
Was pushed under the hoop just enough to not have a great angle. To OT we go.
Atlanta continues to own the offensive glass here in the fourth quarter.
Within hours, that brief moment had been remixed, slowed down, zoomed in, captioned, turned into a sound effect, and spread across virtually every platform imaginable. Some fans even started calling it their favorite meme of the year. Supporters who have backed Clark since she entered the WNBA celebrated the clip like a victory, replaying it over and over. Meanwhile, Reese supporters viewed the moment very differently, interpreting it as a public slight that deserved a response. And somewhere in the middle of all that chaos, an even bigger and stranger narrative began taking shape. The claim that Angel Reese wasn't simply embarrassed by what happened, but was allegedly considering turning the entire situation into a legal matter.
TV show last night. And by now you've seen the video of Caitlin Clark laughing at Angel Reese after she missed the game-winning layup against the Fever last night. I'm sure you've also seen this clip of Angel Reese missing a wide-open layup in the first quarter. But what I'm sure you missed was the halftime commentary about Angel Reese's performance in the first half last night. I don't know who her team is paying to get them to gaslight us like this. Get a load of this.
That energy is contagious because if you look at Angel Reese, she already has 7 and 9. She's already getting close to a double-double. Let's go back.
Are we being so for real? 7 and 9, almost has a double-double in the first half. She was 3 of 10 from the floor. She missed 7 out of 10 layups. Half of those 9 rebounds were from her own missed shots that she then missed again. But yeah, she brought the energy, baby. She brought the energy.
She's used to getting double teamed. She's used to triple teams, and she's used to contact. There's no one better to learn from when it comes to being a beast on the boards than Angel Reese.
Yeah, because when the game's...
There's no better person to learn from to be a beast on the boards. You don't say. The woman who literally has a stat created called me bounds because she misses so many shots she takes.
Here's where things get genuinely bizarre. Reports circulating from alleged sources connected to Reese remain completely unverified, loosely sourced, and largely spread through gossip accounts and screenshots that have not been tied to any legitimate legal filing. The The rumor claims Reese may be considering some form of legal action involving Clark and possibly even the league over the viral laughing moment. According to the story being repeated online, Clark somehow had a role in orchestrating the situation, and that appearing to laugh after a missed shot on a nationally televised broadcast supposedly crossed a line serious enough to warrant consequences. But without a verified filing, official statement, or credible source confirming the claim, it remains just that, a rumor circulating online, not an established legal case.
She's not very offensive competent, bro.
Caitlin Clark laughing at Angel Reese's missed layup.
Generational meme.
To lose the game. Here it is. Here's the video. She can rebound everything, but bro.
Andre Drummond is hell down there, cuz.
Now, I heard you say, and I know you like her, Betty. You were like, she averages 15 and 12. I'm like, bro, you watch these games. You're like, how does she ever score?
Come on, bro.
She's an elite rebounder.
So bad.
Elite rebounder, bro.
And you need those. You need those to win.
You need those players on your team, bro. She's super famous rebounder, bro.
Yeah. Oh, how bad did she want to hit the game winner against Caitlin Clark's team? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was devastating. I would say, my opinion is that Angel Reese averaging 15 and 12 is an indictment on the league.
A line for laughing on a basketball court during a live game that both players were actively competing in front of paying fans and a national audience. Think about what would actually need to be proven for a lawsuit like this to have any meaningful legal foundation. There would need to be evidence of intentional wrongdoing, actual damages, and some recognized legal duty or right that had been violated. Simply smiling or laughing after a rival misses a shot doesn't amount to defamation, nor does it generally qualify as harassment or an actionable civil wrong. Lawyers discussing the rumor online have largely reached the same conclusion, sometimes with a touch of humor. There doesn't appear to be a legitimate legal case here. Not merely a difficult case that needs the perfect judge or jury, but seemingly no viable case at all. Competitive athletes have been celebrating, trash-talking, reacting, and laughing at opponents for generations, and those ordinary competitive moments don't suddenly become courtroom matters just because a camera captures them.
Angel Reese knows a ring is coming.
And this is the part that makes the entire rumor even harder to take seriously. Angel Reese is certainly not unfamiliar with using gestures, body language, and facial expressions as part of the competitive intensity between her and Caitlin Clark. Go back to April 2023, when LSU defeated Iowa in the national championship game. Reese famously turned toward Clark during the game and made the "you can't see me" gesture, with millions watching on live television. The moment became a major headline for weeks and was celebrated by many of Reese's supporters as confidence, swagger, and a defining moment on college basketball's biggest stage. Yet nobody filed a lawsuit over it, and few seriously argued that Clark had a legal case simply because a rival player mocked her during a nationally televised game. It was sports. It was competition. And that history tells you a lot about what may really be underneath this latest controversy. Maybe this was never truly about a smile or a laugh. Maybe it is about losing, and about how painful that loss looked while unfolding on one of the biggest stages either player has faced.
This one nice and sweet, because I really don't want to roast you, especially the way you just got beat. But you gotta start fucking playing like your Angel motherfucking Reese. Game on the line, had the win in sight. The ball left your hands, then said, "Not tonight." You missed the buzzer beater. I am not all right. Alicia got goggles. Angel, get you a pair. Cause missing this many layups got me questioning your stare. You doing all the hard work just to get right there. Then the rim says boo, and the ball disappears. What irritates me the most is cause you do so much good shit, but not being able to put back a layup.
Here's the number that makes this sting far more than a single missed layup ever could. Before this game, Angel Reese was already 1-6 against Caitlin Clark in WNBA regular season matchups, 1 win and 6 losses. This wasn't some unusual night where Reese simply ran into bad luck against her biggest rival. It was another chapter in a professional rivalry that has continued to attract enormous attention every time they meet. The missed layup didn't create that pattern. It simply became the most viral moment of it, with millions watching as Clark's scoring, playmaking, and MVP conversation continue to gain momentum. Clark is averaging 22 points and 8.3 assists per game this season, putting her among the league's leading playmakers and firmly in the MVP discussion. Reese, meanwhile, is averaging 15.6 points and 12.1 rebounds in her first season with Atlanta following her off-season move. Those are strong numbers and legitimate production, but the national spotlight surrounding the two players remains dramatically different.
The turnovers that Atlanta has created until we saw Angel Reese, shout out to our teammate, Angel Reese in particular, her energy shifted. I thought when she got some of those easy baskets to go in the paint that quite frankly she had struggled with to open the ball game, that's when you saw this defense begin to pick up its energy, this dream squad to begin to play with a little bit more confidence.
Yeah, athletes know it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and that energy is contagious because if you look at Angel Reese, she already has 7 and 9. She's already getting close to a double-double, but then also, if you think about, on the other side here, you're seeing the Indiana Fever, they're just being a little bit methodical as well because I like these good to great plays. You see Caitlin orchestrating. It's like both sides are leaning into their strengths on this one.
Let's go back to Angel really quickly, though, because she was part of the catalyst that you saw to be able to change things around. And she said to Holly, I just feel like I needed to take a deep breath and maybe stop overthinking some of these.
Oh, I've been there.
Before Shanae answered, y'all saw how Shanae was like...
And this is exactly why the timing of the whole situation feels so loaded and uncomfortable for everyone involved, because in the weeks leading up to this game, there had been a growing chorus of people saying Angel Reese was putting together one of the best stretches of her career, with analysts highlighting her rebounding, improved playmaking from the post, and near triple-doubles becoming a regular part of her game, giving her genuine basketball respect based on real production rather than manufactured social media hype. The Atlanta Dream were also positioning themselves as a legitimate playoff team, making this loss especially frustrating because it didn't just cost them a game in the standings, it interrupted the momentum Reese had been building, and everyone watching live or replaying the game afterwards saw her come up short in the exact moment when finishing under pressure mattered most, which is a much harder reality to deal with than a smile caught by a broadcast camera from 30 feet away.
ESPN polished the turd. For 3 hours, I listened to ESPN as they tried to convince me that Angel Reese is an elite basketball player. Now, to her credit, Angel Reese is an elite pretender. On paper, she looks great. But when you actually watch, it is abundantly clear that Angel Reese has no idea what the hell she's doing. This is year 3, and Angel Reese has not developed. And ESPN isn't doing her any favors by casting Angel Reese as a star player.
Strip away the lawsuit talk entirely, set aside the legal language and the screenshots nobody can verify, and what you're left with is a much simpler and more human story underneath it all. Nobody seriously believes Angel Reese has hired a legal team over a 2-second smile. But what people can clearly see is Reese dealing with a very public and repeated experience of falling short against the player whose success has become such a major part of the national conversation surrounding her own career. Every time this matchup happens, the real story was never just about a facial expression caught on camera for a couple of seconds. It was about what that expression represented in that exact moment. Clark getting another opportunity to close out the game in overtime while Reese was left under the basket knowing she had just missed the shot she needed to make, and then seeing Clark in the background, smiling after the moment had slipped away.
Looking like an absolute menace. Honestly, I don't even care if you're a Caitlin Clark fan, if you're an Angel Reese fan, you got to admit that this was funny. And I can't even lie, I'm glad that this was all that it was for this matchup, because it feels like every time Caitlin Clark goes up against Angel Reese, ever since college, you guys, ever since like their junior year in college, it's always something with these two. It's always something, and then it turns into something greater than that. This is just something fun and light. Fun and light and fun.
And the reaction to the alleged lawsuit story has made that underlying dynamic even more obvious, because sports commentators, podcast hosts, and fans across social media have spent days joking about the idea, with most reaching the same conclusion. If missing a potential game winner and being laughed at afterward were legally actionable, professional sports history would be overflowing with courtroom battles. Game-winning shots are celebrated, Missed opportunities are criticized, and players have been teasing, challenging, and reacting to one another for generations. That competitive tension is part of what makes sports so compelling in the first place. The idea that one particular moment should suddenly carry legal consequences has not been treated as a serious grievance by most people outside the rumor accounts pushing the story for attention. Instead, it has largely been viewed as an example of a public loss becoming fuel for an internet narrative that grew far bigger than the original moment ever deserved.
Especially as of late, really taking charge, really stepping up. She is going into those huddles. She is like talking about plays, getting everyone together. And that is something that she wasn't doing in the beginning of the season as much. I did see Sophie Cunningham doing that a lot, but now I have been seeing her do that. She has stepped up into that leadership role. And I'm not saying that she is MVP or anything just yet, but you cannot discount her from this conversation. She has added so many new tools to her bag this year, like her step back. Also, her step back has gotten the gait of her step back is, and I posted this yesterday on social media, so I apologize if you're hearing me say this again, but her step back has gotten to the size of like an adult human being, something that she was not able to do with her groin injury. That is like a huge deal for someone like Caitlin Clark, who just needs a little bit of space to get a shot off. And her mid-range game has really gone up. But not only that, her ability.
Here's the part that actually matters going forward, far more than anything involving lawyers, screenshots, or unverified legal rumors. Right now, the Fever sit fourth at 23-12, while the Dream are fifth at 21-13, meaning that if the standings remain anywhere close to where they are today, these two teams could meet in the first round of the playoffs. That would create the first postseason matchup between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese as professionals, with genuine elimination pressure and no next game to erase the sting of a costly possession. That is the rematch that should be dominating the conversation, not a rumored lawsuit that has no verified foundation. If this playoff matchup happens, the attention surrounding one smile caught by a broadcast camera in August could look tiny compared with what's coming. In the postseason, there is no simply walking it off and waiting for the next regular season game. There is only advancing or watching the other side have the final say on one of the biggest stages of their careers.